Hello everyone, welcome into my own view. Yesterday was historic. What am I talking about? Yesterday was the historic vote for marriage equality, which means all 50 states allow same-sex marriage. What does that mean? It means nothing. If you're a Christian cuckoo, move to Canada. Well, why would you move to Canada? It's there as well. Marriage equality, that is. Move to Mexico. It's legal there as well, so half of Europe marriage equality exists. Most of South America, parts of Africa, and the only left place for them, I would say, would be Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia doesn't really welcome them with open arms, so the vote of marriage equality, which is now law of the land, was 5-4. 5 justices for, 4 against. 4 of the justices that were against it were most of usually conservative, so basically since just the Chief Justice John Roberts, who upheld the subsidies for Obamacare the other day, who was called traitor, now he's being called the savior of morality and yada yada yada. But those who have voted for marriage equality are now be called devils, judicial activists, and the like, and their job is to simply interpret the Constitution as is, the laws as is, and also they would on occasion cite recent cases and whatnot. They have cited recent cases to where marriage equality now is law of the land. And of course, Republicans are somewhat mixed on this, whereas Mike Huckabee, he thinks that it's judicial tyranny. How is it judicial tyranny where he thinks that pastors and the like will be forced to officiate same-sex weddings? But here's the catch: they're not going to force no, not going to force same-sex marriage on priests or pastors unless the church or some type of worship congregation agrees with same-sex marriage, and they can officiate whether they like it or whether they choose to do so or not. Basically, pre-marriage equality law of the land, where states had marriage equality in the book, simply said if the church or place of worship doesn't feel comfortable with officiating same-sex wedding, they are exempted or not allowed to do so. So the question is, where do we go from here for all 50 states? The same rule would apply for all the churches and places of worship that do not agree with marriage equality. So what does that mean? It means separation of church and state. So basically, the government's not going to intervene, and the only way Congress could protect marriage equality is introducing laws, legislation, repealing most of DOMA, even though the main component of DOMA, where the federal government tossed it out the window, where the Supreme Court tossed it out the window. So that's another topic for another times. But anywho, Congress could and would introduce laws to protect the latest historic Supreme Court ruling, and also a personal President Obama. I really like what you did with the White House. No, having it all pride, regalia, and whatnot. So for me, this is historic. Never thought I would see this at all, but we knew it was coming. But this fight is far from over. The war is far from over. What is there left for equality here in the United States of America? Well, majority of 30-some states allow employers to fire at-will employees for the fact that they are gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersexual, and asexual. So the only way that could happen would be a federal protection of ENDA, Employment Non-Discrimination Act, that would extend protection to the LGBT community. But since it's stalled in Congress, would be state by state. So either way, there's still some light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully that light will get bigger and bigger and bigger. But most of the major companies like Coca-Cola, Macy's, Target, Walgreens already have their own policies protecting LGBT employees from discrimination, and plus they also changed their photos to support the latest historic rule of marriage equality. What do you think about marriage equality? Is it right? Is it just? Or is it simply judicial tyranny. Comment below, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another edition of In My Own Views, and let's see what happens a week from now for marriage equality. So I'll see you soon. Have a good night and ignite the revolution.